What's going on? What's going on? Hello, hello, hello. Oh man, I am dark. I am dark. Hold on. All right, let's see. Yeah. All right. What's going on, Black by popular demand? Thank you for hitting the like button. What's going on, Overcomer? I am 6. What's happening? Hey, Mario. Good morning. Cruise up. What's happening? Yeah, baby. I am here live in the morning. Hey, Jay Parrish, what's going on? Yes, sir. Let's get in here and talk about it. Now, y'all know. Oh, Lord. Y'all know we've been had a lot going on down here. I'm not laughing. Oh, Lord, because we all in this sensitive time right now. So let me be clear. Of course, y'all know I am not laughing or making fun of the fact that we've had a traumatic incident that happened here. That of course is not funny. Y'all know Just T is, I'm just making, just being humorous, but not at all about what happened to that young man. Either of the young men. And we're gonna talk about it. Okay? We're gonna talk about it. All right. Yeah. Overcomer. Yeah. It was a we would I don't, needless to say, we were taken aback, caught off guard. We felt hoodwinked, bamboozled, led them up, led astray, ran them up with it. But however, Malcolm X put it. Turn that off. How's everybody doing? Everybody's been okay? Everybody's been okay? Well, as we give the notification time to go out and everybody to get in, let's do some housekeeping. Let's talk about what we do over here on this channel, okay? So that we're clear, because I'm coming in at an unusual time for us. And so we may have new individuals joining us for the first time. My name is Alicia L. Thomas. That's my name. Okay. Down here, everybody call me Judge T. Okay. I am also a minister. Okay. Not an old time preacher minister. I got some old time preaching ways, but a minister. And so here in this little community that we have named it, termed it Grace Church. And I also call myself the YouTube pastor. Okay. Now we talk about all kinds of stuff. Okay. Over here. I don't get too heavy over into political things because of my position as a judge. It cannot be perceived or, look like I am supporting one political entity or one political candidate over another. Okay. So to just stay clear of all that, I just kind of stay out of it. Now, I do touch upon it for teaching purposes if there's something teachable, but just for the sake of jumping into a political conversation, just T gotta kind of stay out of that kind of stuff. Okay. But we talk about anything. We talk about, serious stuff, stuff happening in the media, celebrity type of stuff happening out here in what we call these YouTube streets. And so nothing's kind of off guard unless it's something I can't talk about. And in the midst of discussing these issues, we can get serious. Judge T can slip on over there and turn into your YouTube pastor and start preaching. But whatever we do, before we get off of here, unless for a specific purpose, Judge T comes on here to talk about something serious, and we're not no jokes, no fun, no play. Unless it's that, generally when I come on here, I come to lighten the load, guys. Okay, I come to lighten the load. Life is tough, and nobody knows what day anybody has had. And just in case you've had a horrible day and you stumble and find yourself over here, Just T gonna say something to lighten the load, lift your spirits, make you laugh. Okay, even if it's about something that's serious. Now, we got some serious stuff going on in the media right now, in our political sphere right now. And so it makes it almost, I don't know, fearful. It make you not want to say nothing, right? It make you not want to say nothing. But Judge T finna do what her do, okay? But if that is something that you cannot handle, you cannot take it. I say something that is sensitive to you, and we laugh about it. I say something about it in a way that's humorous, and we laugh. Guys, I can't have y'all trying to cancel me and do all this kind of stuff. This is what my channel is. I'm telling you this up front. If it's not something that I'm not going to be derogatory or nothing like that. I don't move like that. I'm not talking about stuff like that. I don't move like that. Okay. I am a believer in Jesus Christ and in his teachings. Okay. I'm like you. I have questions and concerns. And I don't think God is upset, even if someone in our current administration may be. I don't think God is going to be, because he knows all things. So he knew the day was going to come when I'd be sitting here saying to you all, I got questions. And yet he allowed me to be here to do it. You understand? So if it's something that you just can't handle, please, just ease on down the road. It's okay to ease on down the road. Okay? No hurt feelings. All right. Jay Perry say, you right, Judge T. We love your channel. Love you just the way you are. I understand. I want to be clear. So this is a disclaimer. Okay? This is a disclaimer. We're going to laugh over here. Okay? If you can't handle that, please ease on down the road. Throw your finger up, and the door is that way, and it ain't locked. All right. Now, if you disagree with something I say, that's fine. Come on in and disagree. I love it, because I love to hear other people's perspective. It opens my ability to see things bigger and better and greater. I don't want to be a person who's locked in and got a narrow view of things, and I only see things one way. Life is not like that. So I don't think like that. So if you disagree, come on in and disagree. Let's debate. Let's talk about it. But we do it in love. We have fun in the midst of it. We do not do these personal attacks. We don't try to degrade people. We don't disrespect people. If you can do that, come on in and hang out with us. Okay? But if you're one that your feelings get hurt, and so now you got to lash out and start calling people out their names and doing all that stuff, don't even hang around, baby. Just go on and go. Because your feelings I'm gonna tell you right now, your feelings gonna be hurt. If you're that type of person, your feelings are going to be hurt. Don't stay. Don't come over here and get mad about the opinion I have on my channel. This is my channel. You do not have to be here. I ain't sending you emails forcing my opinion on you. So please come on in and hang out and have a good time. You're welcome. But take that BS somewhere else. All right? Now, Judge T, love you. Okay? And you're welcome. But take that BS somewhere else. We don't do that over here. See, I told you, I'm not that old time preacher. I'm a new time preacher. I talk real talk. I'm respectful. But we call a thing, as Iana Van Zant would say. So if you cool with that, come on in and hang out with us, okay? All right. Now, we got all of that housekeeping done. Now, listen, come on in and hit the like button. Okay, hit the like button. Now, what did I do? Because y'all just hang on, because I'm figuring things out. I don't understand what it is. Okay, there we go. All right, hit the like button and hit the share button. That makes sure we push through the algorithm, get the word out. Everybody get to come on over here and get introduced to us. If they don't know us, if they part of the family and didn't get the notification, it'll help them to get the notification and know we over here and we getting it in. Okay, do that for me. All right, do that for me. Don't cost you a thing to do that. All right. Now, this is my show with my opinion. It's my opinion, and God, thank Jesus, I still got a right to my opinion. Okay, so allegedly, everything is alleged. Okay. If you love our show, love our ministry, if you got a story that you want me to consider discussing and talking about, give commentary on, here is our Cash App. Here is our email. Okay. All right. All right. When we talk about legal matters, I am not giving legal advice. Okay. If you hear me over here talking about a situation that seems to be similar to yours, you need to go talk to an attorney. I am no longer an attorney. I am a judge. And as a judge, I do not give legal advice. I'm giving my opinion for the purpose of commentary, for conversation, for teaching, educating, for learning. Okay? This is not me giving legal advice or giving a legal opinion, even as a judge. That's not what this is. As a judge, I am using situations to teach, to educate, explain for the purpose of helping us better, critically think so we can make better choices and better decisions. All right. All right. Now we got all that out the way. All right. Welcome. Good morning. I hope everyone has had a wonderful, wonderful weekend last couple of weeks. And Judge T, your YouTube pastor, is glad to be back with you. Okay. A lot's been going on. So let's talk about some stuff. Taboo conversation. You got to be real careful how to handle it. I'm going to do my best. I mean, no disrespect. I'll say that out top. I'm not trying to hurt anybody's opinion. And you may be shocked about what my opinion is. Okay. Okay. So let's go ahead on and hit it so we can get get away from it and talk about some more interesting stuff, or at least some more safe stuff to talk about. You know what I mean? Oh Lord. Okay, so Mr. Charlie Kirk, um, Turning Point USA, I believe is the name of his organization. When this incident first happened, I didn't know his name. So when they were saying that this person had been attacked, I didn't know who they were talking about. But later on, I think I went on to find out who is this person. Thank you, Keyshawn. And so I saw the picture of the guy, and then I knew who they were talking about. Now, I've only recently, and when I say recently, I mean recent, like this month, September, I just knew kind of who, in seeing the picture, I'm like, oh, that's that dude. So recently, I guess with all the stuff that's going on in the news, some of the shorts, the recommendation that comes up on YouTube started coming up with him in it. And after seeing the same guy over and over and over again, I'm like, well, who is this dude? And so I clicked on one, and I saw that he was debating a young dude. Keyshawn said his talking points will not be missed. Respectfully. Thank you, Keyshawn. A college kid. And then I looked at a few more things. And I thought that his position was interesting. Now I'll say this. Now y'all know Judge T. Don't be jumping on me. It's my opinion, and I can have it. Okay, I can have it. And y'all know Judge T. I don't jump on stuff just because it's popular. Everybody's trying to get a video out. Judge T like to have context. I don't like that speculating. Speculating got a lot of black men killed. Now, I get people do it for entertainment and commentary and stuff like that. I get that. I ain't tripping. I'm just saying I like context so that when we have a conversation about it, it can be a conversation that includes all of the pertinent information. And the conversation can be truly, one of depth and intelligence and with all sides. All right? Good, bad, or ugly. Okay? Okay? Now, I thought his position was interesting. I started seeing videos as I watched the shorts that they were showing me of other people's giving commentary about the statements he was making, his position. But I have a tendency to go down the rabbit hole sometimes, and I wanted to know the context. I did not want to hear the soundbite. I wanted to hear the context of the conversation to understand why he said what he said. And I guess I take this position, y'all, because I've been in politics now for some time, and I know what it's like for people to take a bite out of what you said and try to flip it and use it to make you look a certain way that you are not. I know how that feels. So because I know how that feels, and I know that happened to people in the political sphere, right, in the public sphere, I know to slow down. Wisdom tells me to hold up and wait a minute. Or you jump out there and start saying stuff. Like the Jesse Smollett situation. I told y'all, I ain't jump out on that because I had questions. And even after watching his documentary, explaining it his way and through the documentary, it didn't change nothing how I feel. Now, I will say it did this. It made me wonder, right? It made me wonder about them Odabedobe boys. I don't know how to pronounce their last name. That is not being, shady. I don't know how to pronounce their name. The Obadiah boy. It made me question them a little bit. But the overall question that could never be answered, even when watching the documentary, he never answered this one question that we all know to be true. How did them boys know you were going to be outside at that time on that day? How did they know that? Where did they get that information from? Ain't nobody said they trapped you. They just what? Now the documentary make it seem like there may have been actually two white men out there that day, and he said they were white. He know what they say, and there may be some testimony that other people did in fact see these white men. Well, white man, and that was the interesting thing. He said it was two, but even his witnesses say they only saw one. But it make you question. It may be. But if that's the case, then why did the Obadiah boys say it with them? They bought the red hats. They bought the rope. I don't know. I don't know. The people say it was a Democratic setup. I don't know. Maybe they did get paid. Keyshawn said they got paid. Maybe they did. I don't know. But all the more reason why there's all the more questions surrounding the death of Mr. Kirk. Right? All the more reasons that there are more questions. Now, let me say this. I understand the hurt that those individuals who followed Charlie Kirk, believed in Charlie Kirk, loved Charlie Kirk. I understand their hurt and their pain. Okay? I understand it because in watching it and asking God to help me. Now listen now, this is more. Let me help you. This my opinion and my position is more centered around from a religious perspective more than political, right? Because I've felt there's more to this than what the eye can see. I need y'all to hear me. So in asking God to help me see what I cannot see, because I see that there's something amiss, Jesus. What is this, right? The people who followed this man and believed in this man and loved this man feels about his assassination the way our people felt when King was assassinated. Now listen to me. I understand that in many people's opinion, he ain't no king. I understand that. I understand that. I understand that. And I don't disagree. I don't disagree. And I'm not talking about the fact that they are equals. I'm not talking about the fact that they are equals. I'm saying that their feeling about his death is the same feeling we had about the death of someone we beloved, believed in, followed. Okay? That's all I'm saying. I mean, this man was being prepped to replace Trump. This man was being primed to replace Trump. Now, y'all remember what I said, okay? Remember this. Hang on to this. Deposit it in the back of your mind. Place it in your back pocket. Don't drop it. Don't lose it. He was being primed to replace Trump. Trump, I'm so sorry. I apologize. I shouldn't have said that. He was being primed to be the next Republican leader, so to speak, right? That's a better phrase. That's a better phrase. Because technically, he kind of wouldn't be replacing Trump unless the current administration was not leaving. But he was being primed to be the next person that's going to be like that Republican person for the Republican Party. And I noticed in watching him that he was a great debater. He was a great debater, y'all. I debated. And the guy had some skills. I mean, you literally had to be paying attention. And this is what I noticed. A lot of young people that approached him to debate him came to debate him with their emotions, with their feelings. And the one thing Charlie had, in addition to his feelings, was knowledge and information. He was smart now. He was. The dude was good at what he did. You got to give it to him. And I do. And so people loved him. So when that was done to him, it was hurtful. And I understand that. I get that. But I struggle with believing and accepting the FBI's version of events. Keyshawn, you hear me talking, baby? Keyshawn, what if, let me ask this question, Keyshawn. I was looking at he being VP to JD Vance's presidency. Okay. But Charlie was more loved by the people than JD Vance. So Lord, I hope y'all hear what I'm saying. I hope y'all hear what I'm saying. Oh, bless God. You know, the great distraction, the devil, the power of the devil is getting you to believe a lie. Oh my God. Come on, talk to me. I think I didn't went there. I think I didn't slipped over. Baby, the greatest power. What's going on, Juju to God now? Good to see you, baby. Listen, did y'all hear what I say? The greatest power of the devil is to get you to believe a lie. Hmm? Oh my goodness. What in the world? I concur. What in the world? Oh my. Don't say that. Kirk didn't teach. Mr. Kirk didn't teach that. He didn't teach that. Now, nope. He taught Jesus and Jesus alone. Now he did it. Keyshawn said, "I saw Trump getting impeached through the 25th Amendment. Vance becomes president, and Charlie Kirk becomes VP until 2028. Kirk was to replace them in 2028 for POTUS." Okay. Okay, well, hey, that may be possible. But the way the people was pushing, okay, I'll leave that alone. But I don't think I believe what the FBI got to say about how this young man was shot down like a dog. Wasn't nothing about that right. Wasn't nothing about that good. Wasn't nothing about that just, holy, or nothing. For many people, the man had a horrible opinion. Okay? Horrible. But he didn't deserve to die for it. But y'all, I do believe he was sacrificed. My opinion. What Charlie Kirk's death did do is rile up that base that was starting to get quiet and starting to unify with the other side, because a lot of this stuff that's going on is now affecting both sides. And I did a video early on, y'all, when I started the channel, and I pleaded with poor white people. At this time, I wasn't a judge, and I pleaded with poor white people. It was a presidential candidate. It was a presidential race. It had, I guess, it had to be Donald Trump and Hillary Clinton, I believe it was. And I was pleading with people to vote for Hillary Clinton, I believe it was. And I remember saying, please understand, right, that billionaires care about other billionaires, right? This is what I was saying back in 2016. And so poor white got to get past this feeling of being superior over blacks, even though we all standing in the same ditch. Because it really ain't about race, it's about money. And those of us who don't have it, as soon as we all decide we understand that principle, we can work together to get some things done that benefit us as a whole. And that's what America and Americans have always done. Okay. I know this feels like it's the worst it's ever been, but I assure you that if you go back through history and look, the people felt the same way back then. And it's worse now because, I mean, like, the experience is harder than we've had to experience in our being on this planet and in this country. I'll give you that. Okay. But all I'm saying is, if you go back, if you go back, you'll find some generations back there where things was rough. Because things are bad, but we are not in a Great Depression. We are not. Oh God. Oh Lord, have mercy, Jesus. Okay. um Tawana. And if you look at his latest videos, he started having questions about Israel. His political views started to clash with his Christian principles when the young people started showing up at these debates asking him, was he really a Christian? Yes. Did he really believe in babies having the right to life? And he said, yes. And then they come back and question, does that mean all babies or just certain kinds of babies? All babies have a right to life. If God allowed the creation to occur, he wanted that baby to be alive. And then they came back and asked, so the babies in Palestine? Does God want those babies to live? Over there in Gaza? Hey, April Air goes, I'm saying there's a lot happening and going on, y'all. And what we don't want to do is jump to conclusions. And that's on both sides. Okay. All this rhetoric and all this stuff that's going on, it's coming from both sides. And everybody needs to stop. If we're truly for America, then let's be Americans. And let's do what Americans do. Come together, support one another, love one another, and do what got to be done to make sure our country stands. So let's do that. Okay? Let's do that. But keep your eyes and ears open, okay? Okay? Because there's a lot of people making a lot of money off this young man's death. A lot of positions being moved around. Okay? So be vigilant. Okay? And be safe. All right. That's all I got. on Mr. Kirk. We pray for his family and those that loved him. And we pray that we come out of this stronger, y'all. I don't care what nobody say and how different we think we are. We are stronger together. And for all of those who say they love Charlie and they are Christians because of Charlie, the word of God says a house divided against itself will not stand. So if Charlie Death does anything, it is my hope and my prayer it will be used. What the devil meant for evil, God will turn that thing and make it for good. And I pray and I hope that it does what nobody expected it to do, and that's to bring us together. Wouldn't that be a shock? Lord have mercy. Would that not be a thing? Oh man. Keyshawn. Keyshawn. What you say, Keyshawn? Hey, baby. Okay. Black by Popular Man said, what about his anti-black racism? Okay. What about it? I don't know to what extent. I don't know about, let me say this about the anti-black racism. I don't know. Because I saw a full, complete video of Charlie being at a rally at one of his debate things. And a far right, alt-right person came to the mic and asked a question about him being Christian, right? And if he was Christian, how is it that he cannot support that the white man is the be all to end all, so to speak? I'm paraphrasing, right? Everybody else is a second, third, fourth, fifth class citizen to the white man. Okay. And Charlie debated him, asked him a question or whatever, went back with him for a little bit, and he asked him a question, and I can't remember what the boy answered, but whatever the boy responds, well, let me see if I got it, if I kept the video. Doggone it. Whatever the young man said, Charlie went off on that boy and told him he was not a conservative. He was asking some, it was about transgender people. Maybe it's about transgender people the guy was asking about. And Charlie asked him, what business is it of yours what these individuals do in their bedroom? What does that have to do with you? And he was saying, yeah, but it's not right. It's da-da-da-da-da-da-da. And Charlie was saying, he kept asking him something, and the guy kept giving the wrong answer. And Charlie stood up and told him, if you believe that, then you're not a Christian. You're not a, no, he says, you're not a conservative. You're not a part of what we believe. I don't know, man. I would love to have had a conversation with him. I would love to have showed up to one of his things and had a conversation with him. I saw him in an interview with Bill Maher. and he admitted that he had got something wrong and that he could have been better in doing that or whatever. And I mean, the dude was human and he had conservative opinions different from many people, but he didn't come off to be a racist or a hate baiter or any of that stuff. I understand that when you're at those type of debate settings, it's not about conversation and understanding as much as performance based. It is you're winning your point. It is a debate. I don't know. I know this. I don't want to put the man in the you're going to hell category because I don't understand his position as it relates to anti-black racism. Because somebody may feel because of my opinion and my stance on things that I deserve to be in the category, to go in the hell category. Now, your opinion is yours. Keep it. Do what you want to with it. I don't have a problem with it. Do I agree with everything Charlie Kirk said? Absolutely no. Absolutely not. But I would love to have had an opportunity to talk to him about it. Now that's me. But I don't support anybody that supports violence or taking away people's rights. You know what I'm saying? I don't believe in abortion. I don't support abortion. But it's not my right to tell somebody else what they can and cannot do with their body. Autonomy is what America was built on, the ability for us to believe what we want to believe, to live how we want to live. That's why we're here and what makes our country so great. But I mean, okay. He said some very peace-breaking things about black people as a whole. Okay. I haven't seen everything he said. That was one reason why I wasn't going to jump out there and just jump and start talking, because I didn't know enough about the man to have an opinion one way or the other. I just thought it was a bad thing that they shot him down. I wouldn't want anybody. There was some, for the longest time, I was told, like many other African Americans, black people, that the Nation of Islam was not a righteous organization, and that Malcolm X was a radical, divisive individual. And they said the same thing about Louis Farrakhan. Except when you listen, and for the longest time, many blacks didn't want to hear what they had to say. But when you stop to listen, they're not divisive. They're not. The only thing they were saying is black people. Come on, y'all. We can do this. We, as a nation of people, can do this. for ourselves, by ourselves. I think Caucasians thought that it was divisive because they felt like in hearing that type of teaching that we would respond the way they had responded in hearing that type of teaching. Because when their teachers would teach that type of stuff, the white, they responded in violence. They responded in violence. And so, in knowing that that's how they responded, it's a fear that everybody else is like you. And so, since I did it to you, I know you will do it to me. And that fear made them shut these voices down. Right? But yet we now live in a time where we have Caucasians wanting to build exclusively Caucasian towns. Everybody know about I think it's called Return to the Land. They're doing something in the hills of Arkansas, in Tennessee. I think it's a place up there called Jackson, Tennessee, where they are, and they're trying to establish these places all around the country. And most African Americans say, okay, wonderful, go, enjoy, stay, don't come back. And these individuals, when I've been asked by journalists, how would they feel if blacks wanted to do that? And their response is, that's fine, we think they should, woo, 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 woo. Here's the only problem with that. History has shown us that when African Americans have gone to do for ourselves, and we have done for ourselves and doing well for ourselves, there are a sector of Caucasians who may not be doing as well that gets upset with how well we're doing, and they come and tear our stuff down. They called it Black Wall Street. It was another one called what was it? Flowwood? It wasn't Flowwood. Flowwood wasn't what it was called. It was some kind of wood. And other areas across the country, right? Look, guys, we ain't Rosewood. Thank you, Cruiser. Thank you, Juju. Rosewood and other areas, right? Across the country where this is happening. Black people ain't never wanted to do nothing but be able to live in peace and get along with their neighbors. That's it, man. And there are a good sector of Caucasians that want the same thing. And it gets messed up with the other individuals who want chaos and confusion. And y'all, the only way real peace is going to come in this situation is if those of us who know we want it, who know we don't have issues, we may not agree, but we agree in each other's humanity. Our voices have got to be louder than those who want chaos and division. Okay? And that's in any situation, not just something like this, man, in your home, in your school, right? At your church house. Do y'all know how much confusion can be up in the Lord's house? And Keyshawn, we have more Caucasians speaking out against the wrong that is being produced by other Caucasians than we have in a long time. They are speaking out, man. These folks are out. And you see these marches and different protests that's going on. When you look out there, you see some blacks, but it's way more white people out there than black people. And I'm going to tell you about Caucasians that I say about black people. You ain't going to get everybody to get on board. I mean, when we were trying to come out of slavery, you still had ninjas saying, I ain't going. Boss been good to us. you know. I'm just saying, y'all, peace, 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 peace. The word of God tells us to pursue peace. Out of all our pursuits, pursue peace. Okay? All right. Lake Lanier. Oh, okay, here we go. Mother Dragon said, Oscarville, now Lake Lanier, Rosewood, Mississippi, etc., 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 etc. Absolutely, baby. Absolutely. So let's slide. Good segue. Good segue, Mother of Dragons. Let's slide on into the hangings in Mississippi. Y'all give me 1 second. All right. Let me. I don't know, y'all. Is it this? Yeah, it's this. Ooh, they keep changing this thing. All right, here we go. This is what's been going on down here where I am. I know by now everybody has heard about it. Here we go.
Family in Mississippi is now begging for answers after their 21-year-old was found dead hanging from a tree at Delta State University. Campus police say the body of 21-year-old Trey Reed, a black student, was discovered by staff members on Monday morning. Authorities quickly ruling out foul play, and during a press conference today, the university president insisting that race relations are not an issue at the university.
I can say that my heartbreak is comprehensive, not just for Trey, although it is primarily for Trey, but for the fact that the rest of the world has an impression of Delta State that is so at odds with what I know to be this institution. This institution should not be associated with hate or hate crimes.
So by now, you guys know that I think it was the 15th, Monday, a young man, African-American man, y'all saw his picture, Trey, was found hanging from a tree at our local university, Delta State University. And everybody want to know what's up. Okay, so when I first got the news, let me come on. When I first got the news about the young man hanging from the tree, what came with that news was at least one of his legs were broken. How did he get up a tree? His legs broke. Concerning, right? Then we get the news that authorities say it was self-inflicted. Huh? With broke leg? So that caused a stir. Just the fact that a black man was found hanging from a tree in Mississippi caused a stir. And one that should be stirred. Let's let's make no mistake. However, the reason why you all didn't see marching and all that kind of stuff is because we didn't know. We don't know because the coroner's report has not been released. uh, Not the coroner's report, the pathologist. Pathologist. But we didn't know, and let me tell you why we didn't. This is not my home. I don't have history with here, but I'm well aware of the history in my county. And it has not been great nowhere. Slavery was here, y'all know it, and here good. And Jim Crow was here and here real good. And redlining was here and here, whatever was happening to black people was happening here worse than anywhere else. If you ask the individuals who live here, and based on what we've read in newspapers and documentaries and everything else, the Delta of Mississippi was rough. But do we have good relations here, blacks and whites? To some extent, yes. I know this is not popular to say. Everybody's looking for me to be all up in arms and all of this here kind of stuff. We had them, Reverend. We had them. If whites was after an African American in these parts, if that African American can make their way to Mount Bayou, Mississippi, baby, they were good. Couldn't come into Mount Bayou. Couldn't come. Mount Bayou was one of the only full operated African American towns after slavery. Owned, created, built by freed slaves. It was amazing if you look into the history of Mount Bayou. Keyshawn, we got to live together. We have to work together. Our children go to school together. And some of us attend the same churches together. Now, Sunday is still the greatest segregation time in America. But there are still churches where blacks and whites go together, attend together, worship together. And that's what the civil rights movement was about, right? Us being able to eat in the same restaurants together, shop in the same stores together, attend the same schools together. Well, we got that. Don't hate now. Mother Dragons, they talked about my body. Yes, they did, baby. Yes, they did. Yes, they did. Yes, they did. Mount Bayou was the shiznit. Yeah. Yeah, we got towns like Ruleville, Mississippi, the home of Fannie Lou Hamer. There's history here, y'all. Keyshawn said, be safe while y'all doing all that. Keyshawn, if I told you the truth, leave that alone. But Terrell, my brother lives in Mississippi now, and I've met his wife, neighbors, whom he seemed to have a decent relationship with. We want peace, y'all. I'm telling you that, yes, are there some racist people here? Yes, just like they're everywhere. But there, in my opinion, I don't know if it's more of them or what, but I'm saying that there are white people who want peace. They don't want to fight. They don't want to fuss. They don't want to march. They don't want to protest. They just want to go to work, enjoy their family, go to church, enjoy their home, and be in peace. And if their neighbors need something that they can do to help, they're willing to help. Whether that neighbor be white, black, Latino, Asian, whatever. And that's a fact. That is a fact. Now, I understand that it's not the version, the picture that people have been putting out, that people want you to believe. I get that. I understand that. Don't got no problems with that. I'm saying we got it. Keyshawn said, Judge, it just boils down to a safety thing for me. Our people deserve that, especially our children. Everybody deserves it. I agree. In particular, our children, because I know it's a higher risk for them. I know this. I ain't tripping. But let me ask y'all a question. Do y'all think if Mississippi was still the hanging state, right? When lynchings were legal and lawful, they were happening every day. And I'm not saying it's right if any happen, because none should happen. Y'all know this. Y'all don't need me to tell this. Y'all don't need me to say that, do you? Ain't none of it right. But I'm saying before we jump to going back to the 50s and the 60s and the 70s, let us hear what the autopsy report says. And then let's make whatever decision we want to make. And in addition to the autopsy that the state pathologist office is doing, they're going to get their own independent autopsy. So all I'm asking everybody to do for my state, my county, my city, is let's wait on the evidence. Everybody calling for the FBI. The FBI can't come in. Not legally. Unless they're requested to come in. They've said if there's a federal violation, let them know. We'll come on. But until something rises like it's a hate crime and this, that, or another, and thus far, there's nothing that says that. Now, the autopsy, the toxicology report that comes may tell a whole different story. And at that time, it may be time to do something, to say something. But we ain't going to know until we really know. And everything else is just speculation. and all these folks doing all this talking that ain't from Mississippi, that don't live in Mississippi, you can't really say nothing about what's happening or going on down here because you don't know. Does that school have a rough history? Absolutely. But has the school made strides to try to turn that perception around? Absolutely. Yeah. Keyshawn, everybody is prepared and ready for it to be foul play. Like, we ready for that. We expecting it. We on guard for it. We ready for it. Let's go for it. Let's do it. Let's do it. Let's get it. We ready for that. Are we ready to accept that it was self-induced, self-inflicted? Can we accept that as a reality? Because it's not something that we're known to do. We may get a gun. We may take some pills. But hanging from a tree is not what we do. So I understand. I understand, the feeling like, ain't no way in hell. Ain't no way, buddy. Ain't no way. Y'all got to look into that, partner, because that ain't what we do. I get that feeling. I get that rationale. I understand that position, right? But if the facts come out and show that it is what it is, then what do we do? You just say we're not ready. Huh? Too much effort? What effort? What do you mean, too much effort? What does that mean? Too much effort. Keyshawn, what does that mean? Too much effort. Then it is what it is. Well, that's all I'm asking everybody to do is wait. See, I've lived here for a minute now, 27, almost 30 years. If not 30, if I've been here 30 years. I think next year will be 30 because I came in 96. Next year will be 30 years I've been here. So I've seen some things, right? And I've seen some things that we just knew. It didn't make headline news, but I've seen some things where we just knew it was a particular way. We knew it. Couldn't tell us nothing. We knew it. And then when all the stuff came out, we were shocked. But Will did say, what now? Who done did it? What up? What up? What happened? Who, Jesus? I'm just saying I've learned. I've learned I'd rather wait, get all the information, give my opinion, than to jump out here and say something, and then I got to come back and tell you, well, I had that one wrong. No, no, no. Mm-mm. No, 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 no. Slow to speak. Slow to speak. See? What say, Rev? Ain't they talking about the boy's character? Was he depressed or student? He didn't have no friends to say anything about him. Well, Rev, couple of things. One, he's a freshman. This was his first semester at Delta State. Okay. So he's a freshman, and we are still at the beginning of the year, right? And he is not a local kid that went to the local college. This young man is from Grenada, Mississippi, all right, which is an hour or so away from us. Oh, Keyshawn, you come on here and tell the truth. Remember that Brawley case with Al Sharpton back in the day? Yeah, come on, Keyshawn. Come on, Keyshawn. Come on and use facts. No. We can wait. It ain't going nowhere. I know all the hype about it may die down and go somewhere, but when the facts come out, right, we can talk about it. Until then, we send peace and strength and love and prayers to the family, people that love the young man, right? The Brawley case. Y'all know the young girl that said that she was marked up on and had been, sexually taken advantage of by these white cops. And it come out to be a whole hoax, a made up situation. What about Susan Smith? Y'all remember Susan Smith? The little white lady that took and drowned her babies? And then did a press conference and said her car had been hijacked by a black man, and America went crazy and stopping and frisking and arresting and and come to find out she the one that did it. And all of Black America said the same thing, just like we heard the Jussie Smollett case. All the white celebrities was, we send our prayers. This is horrible. Something needs to be done. And regular Black folks was like, okay, hold on now. Stop. Wait. Because I got questions. Because this don't. Hey, this. Wait a minute. Black folks back then said, do black men hijack cars? Yeah. Carjack cars? Yeah. Not with white babies in them. And if a car got a white baby in it, them white babies going to be found sitting out there on the street. Now, what you better hope is that a car don't come through there and hit them. Now, I ain't going to tell you they're going to set the babies on the side of the street, but they're going to get them babies out the car they carjack, because they can't show up to the chop shop with no white babies in the back seat of no car that they carjack. Okay. We knew that. So when America was hollering and crying about the little white babies missing, Black America said, we is sorry that the little white babies is missing, but we need you to hear us well. Ain't no black men did this. So I'm just saying, history has shown us we shouldn't jump. Reverend say Central Park 5 even got them little black boys to admit to doing the crime, and they didn't do it, just so they wouldn't kill them. So now Judge T I can't jump, y'all. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I can't jump. I'm sorry. I gotta wait. Because see, ain't nobody saying this. Ain't nobody saying this. Let y'all come on in. Come a little closer. Now don't tell nobody. This just between us. Over here at Grace Church. Okay. 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 I only heard it I only heard it one time, one other place, and I can't remember where I heard it from. But there was a sniff, a little scent, a little scent. Come on in here. Get closer so I can tell you. There's a scent that it might have been a hazing situation that went wrong. Did y'all hear what I said? Did y'all hear what I say? Somebody respond. Did y'all hear what Mario? Does that mean you heard what? Does that mean you heard? Did y'all hear what I say? Tawana didn't hear me. Tawana, that's why I told you to come closer, man. Get in. Come here. I ain't gonna say it no more. Look at Mother Dragon. Mother Dragon said, "Oh, I can't even stand you today." Never even crossed my mind. Tawana said, "I was trying." Okay, Tawana, come on. For the rest of y'all that's in the back, those of y'all who was in the front and heard what I said, move and let them in the back come on up to the front of the class. Tawana, I said there's a hint, just a little bit, just a little bit, just a little bit. It might have been a hazing situation that went wrong. I ain't saying it no more. You got to email me if you did that. So before we jump, let's just wait. Because freshmen do that. There used to be a day when they wouldn't let a freshman, go out to join a fraternity or a sorority your freshman year. You had to wait till your sophomore year. Y'all remember the young man from the other university? Was it Southern? Where they were in a pledging situation, and the guy, they were hitting him in the chest, and they hit that dude, and he collapsed. And they took his body from where the incident happened and took it to a park and changed his clothes. Y'all remember that? I thought that was at Southern. Either way. Because they were scared. All right. So let's end on a good note, on a happy note, on a happy time, and let's talk about the praise team leader getting fired. Oh, you didn't hear about that one, Tonisha? Yeah, I believe this young man was from, well, I may have it wrong. It may have been FAMU. I thought it was from Southern. But I know that there were two. I know there were two. Okay, so the one I'm talking about happened at Southern, and after that happened at Southern, the one you talking about happened at FAMU. See, I'm fired up spiritually for real. I needed to hear your wisdom on these things, Judge, because the anger is high. It's going to provoke it. It's going to provoke it, y'all. And there's a part of me, that's why I'm thinking, y'all, that all of this is just the work of the enemy. It's the enemy distracting us and trying to provoke us to get caught up in our emotions, right? To say something and do something. And it's just trying to cause confusion, chaos, and division. I'm telling you, if we want to defeat this demon that's rolling through our country, the only way, I will say this about Charlie Kirk's wife. She said it, and it is a fact. You cannot meet hate with hate and defeat it. The only way you can defeat hate is with love. That's it. And if we don't get that and understand that the enemy is trying to use our pain, our trauma against us, we can put it down and say, listen, this is what I want to do. Instead of us focusing on what we don't agree on, let's talk and find what we do agree on. Nobody's done that. All right, y'all. The young lady, what's the girl name? Mahogany. Y'all heard about the female church pastor that had an issue with Mahogany, and we now know that issue was Mahogany decided that she did not want to continue to stay at the church since the church wasn't able to pay her and her team. Church, according to Mahogany, who went on Larry Reed Live's show, said that the situation that was going on behind the scene was that the first lady had came to her and told her that the church was no longer going to pay the team to sing, but they would pay her. Mahogany said she felt like Tonisha, I heard about it, but I didn't see it. She didn't think that was right, that was fair. So she said she wasn't going to do it. And she had told the pastor, and I guess the pastor got upset and wanted to hug Mahogany and do all that. And Mahogany didn't want to do all that. So the pastor brought it out there and told everybody about it. And said that open rebuke is better than secret love. Well, let me be clear. Somebody should have got up and openly rebuked you, ma'am. Keyshawn says, I do that on my TikTok live. MAGA minions come in with attitude and leave out agreeing on certain points. Most people are in the middle, honestly, when it comes to their actual beliefs. You know? Everybody believes in being fiscally responsible except a fool. You know you need to handle your money right. We know we need some taxes to support the government in running and providing the services that we do need. People just don't want to be overtaxed. So I'm saying there's a lot of things, y'all. We're human, and all humans need the same thing, right? We all need roofs over our head. We all need food to eat. We want it to be healthy. We don't want it to be food that kills us, right? We want to be able to work a job, start a business, provide for our family. Rev said that first lady was completely wrong, and Mahogany is the GOAT. Yeah, that's not right, y'all. And her husband got up and he knew she was wrong, but he knew he also had to stand with her 10 toes down. He knew he had to do that. Okay? He knew he had to do that. Now, what I hope is that he went home and got her together. I hope that at some time in a private conversation with the church, they had a meeting and straightened it out. Out of order, ma'am. Out of order, ma'am. No, you don't take you were mad, girl. You don't take your fleshly self and do no mess like that. Exactly. Maslow's hierarchy needs, basic needs. Absolutely. We really are, Judge, in the middle of the propaganda have U.S. believing the opposite. Yeah. It's a distraction. If we keep fighting against each other, we'll never talk to each other. How you listening to me and I'm trying to hit you all upside your head? And how am I able to listen to you when you trying to hit me upside my head? We're too busy trying to keep from getting hit. Tawana said she needed a bear hug, not an old flimsy hug. That little one. Mahogany gave that little head. That little one hand, y'all know that little one hand, that little one hand hug you give. Cruz, I can only help that I hope that he told her what was right when he got home. That's my hope. He got her straight when he got home. Because surely he can't believe That's what's right. And he did make a statement, y'all, that I wanted to touch on and make sure that you all understood and knew and could appreciate that ain't how we do it, right? He said that, and even if she is wrong, you still can't, for lack of a better phrase, check her. God got to get her. No. 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 Uh-uh. No. What you're talking about is when God has told the leader to do something or to go a certain way, and the leader is going and the people don't understand or don't agree with going that way, so they're causing confusion amongst the people about following the vision of the leader that was given to them by God. You can't check a pastor in that aspect, okay? You can't check a pastor in that aspect. But leaders were always checked when they act like they didn't have no common sense. What was the who was it? Was it Moses? Who was it that was told you doing too much? You got to get some help. Who was that, y'all? I can't remember right now for nothing in the world. You doing too much. You're going to run yourself into the ground. You're going to die early. No. You can be told. Keyshawn said Moses doing the Exodus. Yes. Yes. You're doing too much. Sit down. Yeah. You can't jump up on nobody and be disrespectful, but you can have a conversation with your leader. If you can't have a conversation with your leader about concerns about their behavior that you may have, then that may not be the best leader for you. No. Moses was leading the people, and he was doing a lot. The scripture talks about him doing all of the work, but that he needed help. They saw that it was weighing him down, draining him. And Aaron or somebody came to him and told him, "You need to get some help. You're doing too much." She was wrong. Ain't a whole lot to talk about by that issue. The pastor was wrong. I hope the husband apologized to Mahogany. They should have. I hope they have by now. Man, I know Mahogany said in her interview with Larry Reed that she had not heard from them, but I hope that she's heard from them by now. Because it was wrong. All out of order. Disrespectful. Bad look on the church. All right, y'all. Well, that's all I got. That's all I got. All right. I hope y'all enjoyed yourselves. I hope y'all enjoyed us hanging out in the morning time. But I've been trying to get a live done, and it just seems like it was one thing after another thing that kept coming up. So I had to make it work. Yeah. According to Mahogany, yes. Everybody left. Oh, did y'all hear that that what's the man name? Tubman put his wife out there to say she's starting a new church. Did y'all hear that? Oh man. Huh? I'm finna pull it up so y'all can see it. Okay, now I ain't seen this one. Miami Dolphins jersey moving in closer. We're in a pitiful state right now. Pray for us. Thoughts and prayers, okay? Give me thoughts and prayers, okay? Okay. Now let's look at this right here. I hadn't seen this video, this Joy 105. And all my videos, the one I showed you early was a news report coming from ABC, okay? And this is coming from joy105.com. All right? And I'm going to tell you, I haven't seen this. I don't know what he's saying, what he's talking about, but I know that the church is in the wife name. Let's listen for a little bit and see what it's saying.
Give you this announcement. We'll be right back.
Hey family, it's Pastor Latasha here, and I have some really exciting news I want to share with you. There's a new church launching, and it's called Believer City, a city where belief has an address. At Believer City, our mission is simple: to raise up a city of believers who share, show, and sharpen belief in Jesus Christ, to turn the world right side up. There's no city without you. So creatives, greeters, organizers, leaders, this is your moment to help birth something beautiful. I believe God has called us all together to launch more than just a church, a city. And to add more great news, our first pop-up service is Sunday, October 5th.
Listen, I want to show up to help you, babe, and be your very first volunteer.
Wow. Thank you so much. We are so super excited to have you as our first volunteer.
So I need you to grab that culture of volunteering and let's help turn the world right side up for Jesus.
Come and join the team.
We'll see you there.
Absolutely. Listen, I don't know about you, but in this space, we are turning up because we know God is doing something amazing in this city. And I'm sure some of you are right at home and you are turning up. In fact, I'm looking at
Now I'm believing and accepting that there's some NDAs involved and some non-compete contracts and things that were signed, which is why people are not telling us what's actually going on, because they can't. And two, the reason why this brother can't start a church. So but he can't start one. Now that's smart on his part. That's smart on his part, that he only binded himself and not his wife. So he coming to help support his wife as a volunteer. He not coming to pastor no church. Interesting. Let's continue.
Comments right now. The thing is going so fast. Y'all see that thing is just moving. Yes, absolutely. Listen, there's so much to be said about what is happening already in Believer City, and we can't wait to show you and share with you all that we want to be able to share. This is why it's very important for you to get your pencil and your paper out, get your phone and take a note, because I need to tell you something. I need you to come a little closer so that I can share with you what's really important. See, if this is going to happen, and Pastor Tasha said it so just so beautifully, if we're going to build in this city, we're going to have to build with the city. And that's you. You are the city. And so we are literally calling all of the folks who know that God has called you to be a part of this for such a time as now, to actually join us October 1st. October 1st is what it's going to be, our very first interest meeting. And our interest meeting is going to be a place where you're going to learn about the vision of the church. You're going to learn about all of the things that are happening in the life of our church, and how you get to be play a huge role in that. And then, of course, what's really important, I got to say this, what's really important is that you know that right now you can make a difference. Right.
So it's a different way of starting a church. Okay, overcomer, I am Bishop Tubman. Let me see. You saw the gentleman that came and sat in the chair with the lady. That's her husband. That's Bishop Tubman. Bishop Tubman used to be a pastor, one of the pastors at the Potter's house under Bishop Jakes. And there's this pastor in Florida. I can't even remember his name, y'all. Because before this incident, I didn't know who he was. I didn't know who Bishop Tubman was before this situation happened. But there's this pastor in Florida that got this big church, well-known big church. And he's looking to retire. And he's looking for someone to replace him. And after much prayer and searching and all these things, he said the Lord led him to Bishop Tubman. And so he brought Bishop Tubman in to preach on a regular basis so that his people, he did it the right way, so that his people could get accustomed to this man, Henry Fernandez. Thank you so much, April. Henry Fernandez has this big known church. I think it's called Faith Center there in Florida. And he brought Tubman in. Once he knew that it was going to be Tubman, he brought Tubman in to let him preach, to let the people build a relationship with him, get used to him, get comfortable with him, get to know him, so that when the day actually came for the reins to turn, it would be a smooth transition. Well, while the reins was turning, because after bringing him in and letting him preach for about 18 months, he did decided that, yes, you're my guy, and he's going to anoint him to be, him and his wife, to be the new senior pastors or assistant senior pastors of this church under Fernandez. And so they have this big hoopla, big thing to do, woo, 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 all is wonderful. Then about 6 months, 8 months later, it all come out that Fernandez and fired the man. So of course everybody want to know, well, now what is the problem? Because Fernandez had the man on his podcast talking about how he know that this is God ordained, how he know God said he was the man. He heard thou art the man, like David heard it from the prophet Nathaniel. When Nathaniel told him, "Thou art the man, David. You're the thief." Yeah, he heard it. And he paraded this man around, saying to everybody, making sure everybody knew this was God's man for this house, for this season, and that this young man, Bishop Tubman, was going to lead the church into the next new generation, the new. And then he fired the man and wouldn't tell us why. And so everybody's been wondering, what is Tubman going to do? What is Tubman going to do? And there was speculation that the reason why we could not know what the facts were behind the scene, what happened, what changed from this being God's man. We didn't know. They wouldn't tell us. Nobody. And so people believed and speculated that the reason why we weren't getting down to the nitty gritty is because some NDAs had been signed, a part of the documents that Tubman had to sign to take on this assignment, that you had some NDAs. I'm adding to that and speculating and giving my opinion that I believe also, in addition to the possibility that there may be some NDAs that were signed, my opinion, allegedly, right? In addition to that, I'm speculating, guessing, giving my opinion that I believe, allegedly, that there had to be some non-compete. Non-compete means you and I start a business together. We go into business together. We each sign non-compete agreements to say, for any reason that we decide that we don't want to work together anymore, you cannot start another same similar type business as the one we started together in the same vicinity within a certain period of time. Now, the people say that the people love Tubman. That the people love Tubman down there in Florida. So the people were wondering, what is Tubman going to do? And some people suggested that he start his own ministry. So we just been waiting on him to announce when he going to start his ministry. But he didn't announce it. Not his ministry, but his wife's ministry.
Now you can take part. And how do you do that? It's by joining the launch team. Become a part of the launch team. And so the way you can do that is literally there should be a QR code that's going to come on the lower third at the bottom of the screen. I need you to scan that QR code, because what's going to happen is you're going to get the opportunity to be a part of the very first groups of people who are signing up to be a part of our launch team. There's so many ways to serve, so many ways to be a part, and we need you to select. Even those of you who are watching from around the world, literally around the world, there's someone watching from Japan, so Believer City, but also well, I don't know about you. Tonight was phenomenal. Let's give it up.
From the moment of conception. So we inherited, you can write this down. We inherited the nature, but we did not inherit the action. Okay? The action is learned behavior. The action is learned behavior. And the behavior is because you've been put in a space to either let lust conceive. Okay? So at the end of the day, you inherit the nature, you commit the action. Okay? The actions are effects of.
Interesting. Interesting. Do y'all see this? Lord, I hope y'all see this. Over comma, Fernandez said, God said, you the man. He promoted him. He paraded him around. Thou art the man. You the man. God said it. God spoke it. God revealed it. God illuminated this thing in my heart. I love you like you're one of my sons. I see you there. I feel that. That's true. That's honest. That's in my heart. I see you as one of my sons. I guess it was a bald-headed stepson because you kicked his out of the house quite quickly. So the wife is starting the church. They need help to start in the church, so they are marketing. It's a different way. We're not used to churches starting this way. We're used to the preacher starting the church. He started with however many people he got. They evangelize. They let people know they got a ministry. They passing out little cards, flyers, folders, whatever you got. They working in the community, so people are becoming aware of their ministry, and people learn about the ministry. They come to the ministry. They join the ministry. We build. They are marketing, baby. Come on. We want you to be a part of the launch team. Yeah. They said the first service is on October the 2nd. They need you to show up on October the 1st so they can tell you where they need you to be so they can have this service. And do you see? He preach it. Her ministry. He preach it. If he gonna do the preaching, why can't he just come on out and say he's starting the ministry? Unless there's a non-compete clause in place that prevents him from being able to do the same or similar type of business, run a ministry in a particular vicinity, Florida, Tampa, within a period of time, usually somewhere around 2 to 3 years. Depending on a bunch of other stuff, it could go up to 5 and it still be legal under certain circumstances. Thank you, St. James. God bless you, brother. Good to see you. So he can't afford to wait, especially when, I don't know this, but I bet you that some of them folks from Fernandez Church who didn't like the way Fernandez handled this situation and find that young man told him, if you start a church, we'll come. Look at that building where they are, and I don't know where they are, but did you see them folk there? Now it could have been a wide space, and they just put all these folks right here to make it look like it's a whole bunch of folks in there. It may not be a whole lot of people, it could have been 10. You understand what I'm saying? Well, Overcomer, I am 6. I don't understand what you're talking about. What do you mean? There shouldn't be a no compete clause in the body of Christ. Huh? Say what now? I brought you in here, right? Got my people to endear themselves to you, and then you don't stay, and you're going to snatch up all my folks and take them with you? No, I'm not going to let that happen. Overcome IMC. Nah. Nah. Mm-mm. Nope. Mm-mm. No outcome. I'm not doing that now. I'm not doing that now. I'm not doing that now. No. The best thing for you to do, tell me, go on back to Dallas. You open the church over there. You open the church over there. But I ain't bring you down here to take my members. Overcome said, those not your folk. They belong to God. They do belong to God. They do. They belong to God. Yes, they do. When they get to heaven, God can have them. But while they down here and there's a need for them to pay tithes, yeah. Yeah, 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 yeah. God don't need them right now. God got them down here. There's a need for them to pay tithes. Them my folks. But I assure you, oh Jesus, when the Lord call them home, He not gonna get in their way. He not gonna get in His way at all. Oh, oh, come and say, there you go, got it. Yeah, yeah. Oh, this is about to be interesting though, because I'm telling you, I don't know Tubman, but St. James have heard of Tubman. A few others have heard of him and heard him preach and this kind of thing, and they say he's good and the people like it. So if he's gonna be preaching in Tampa, and there's a video out by a young lady who was a member of the church for some time. She left and she relocated, but she said that when people knew Tubman was coming in to preach, you had to get up. If you was going to church, you had to get up, or you was gonna be. You might have been listening to him in your car in the parking lot on the radio. So it's gonna be interesting, you know. He just needs the Holy Ghost. Well, now St. James, see, now that's why the Lord brought you in when He did. You see how God put you right where you need to be at the right time. See, because I didn't want to say that. You know, I didn't know the man, but what I've heard, because I did go and listen to some of his sermons. What I heard, interesting. I mean, a good feel, good fill you up, a good old shot of cocaine. But ain't no biblical principles. Ain't no biblical principles. There you go, Reverend. There you go. There you go. Well, Bishop Henry can't forget it then. His memo gone. It's going to be interesting, Overcomer. It's going to be interesting. The people said that Mr. Fernandez, that when he brought Tubman, they increased to 2 services a Sunday. If he was tired before, I don't know how he gonna make it. Because he talked about how wonderful it was to not have to be pressed or stressed about being prepared to preach all these sermons and do all this stuff. He had some help. He loved it. He said he want to go drink a cocktail and relax too sometime. Everybody else get to do it. No, I'm just jiving. He did say that, but he says he has some other things that he wanted to do in life. He likes what he does with his podcast. He wanted to get more into that and other businesses, things like that. And he can't achieve that stuff with all the responsibilities he had with the ministry. So, and he has been doing this for 30 years straight. So he tired. Just call a thing a thing. Henry died, and he needed some help. St. James said Henry over there working overtime. Oh, it's gonna be interesting. It's gonna be interesting. But I'll say this. We don't know what happened. But whatever it was, Bishop Tubman, it does not need to follow you to this new church y'all start, new ministry you all are building. Okay? If there's some behind the scenes character issues, bruh, get work on them, okay? Just get them together. just get that together, okay? Okay? Don't let the Lord put you where your character can't keep you. Because then what was meant to bless you, you've allowed the devil to turn it into a curse for you. If Bishop Henry, if it's your ego, and it did get to the point where the love of the people for this man was just too much for you to handle. You thought you could handle it. You know, because Saul thought he could handle David's, the admiration that the people had for David. He thought he could handle it. He loved it. And then it got too much for him. The people started singing. Saul slayed his, 1,000. David slayed his 10,000. Saul like, hold on. Hold on now. Hold on. 48 laws of power. Do not outshine the master. Reverend said, but he has 30 pastors right in the sitting under him, 27 ministers, daughter and son, spiritual he raised up. And not now one of them is good enough to lead the ministry. Interesting. Overcomer said, maybe what you heard, you just heard what I said, didn't overcome. Yeah. If it's the other way, I'm gonna need you to check that ego, brother. Because you ain't got to worry about people leaving. You gonna run them away. And you're an intelligent brother. Because I thought it was wise of you to understand that you're tired and you accept you're tired. And you also accept that it's going to be somebody else that builds the temple, so to speak. That's wise. And to not have ego about that is wonderful. And it's not, the church is not filled with preachers like that. Preachers have a tendency to kill the thing that they birthed and built because they don't know how to go somewhere and sit down. Your season has run. And it's okay. Sit back and be the overseer. Be the counselor that leads and guides. Don't stay there and hang on to it till the thing crumble in your hands. That don't make no sense. That's ego. And you acknowledge that you did not want to be that person. So I don't know who's at fault. I don't know what happened, but I'm saying it to both of you all. Whatever the issue was, y'all fix it, because I'm struggling with my understanding on how both of you all are as intelligent as you all are. See, this makes me question what's going on, because both of these men are intelligent, well versed in the word, well knowledged, understand that God asks us, doesn't expect us not to have conflict or disagreement, but asks us to reason together. And this thing was of such a nature where they couldn't reason together. Intelligent, mature, well knowledge in word, in deed, in life, and we just can't figure out how to come to the table and compromise. So if that thing was that egregious, y'all better fix it. On whoever side or on both sides, y'all better fix it. Maybe Tubman did think that because he was in there now, he could make some decisions and do some things. And Henry said, "Whoa, I ain't out the door just yet." You know. Two heads and all. Two heads and all. All right, y'all. We've been here over 2 hours. I got to go to work. But I did not want to be interrupted. The last few times I've tried to set this and make it happen, something has happened. So just in case another day happens where I'm in court all the time, I get called to the bench, got to do this, got to do that. I said, let's do it in the morning. I got a few hours in the morning before I have to leave going to work. Let's get it done then. I love you guys so much. I appreciate y'all for being here. I hope you all have had a good time hanging out with me this morning. Listen, have a wonderful day. Have a wonderful rest of the week. And, we'll be back as some more stuff happens because, Jimmy Kimmel came back last night and said some very profound things. So we got to see how people are going to respond to that. But y'all, I'm not going to tell no lie. I like being in a country where I have some freedoms. Real freedoms. And for whatever people feel or say about America, we got that going for us. We got that going for us. Our ability to free speech and our ability to vote. And y'all know I push voting because this is what our judicial system is set off of, the jury system. And the way we get our jurors is through our voting registry. These are our foundational. This is our voice. So please, please, please exercise it, okay? Use it. Because if we don't use it and we don't appreciate it, what you don't use or appreciate, you surely will lose. Y'all have a wonderful day, okay? I love y'all so much, all right? Don't fight with the other side. Listen. Whatever side you're on, just listen. Hear each other out. Okay? Love each other, y'all. That's truly what's going to make the difference. The love that we release, that we allow to shine, truly makes the difference. Okay? Y'all have a wonderful day. All right? Your YouTube pastor love you, and there ain't nothing you can do about it. All right? Y'all be blessed. Have a wonderful day. Have a wonderful week. I'll see y'all next time. God bless. Hit the like button. Hit the share button. Hit the like button. Hit the share button. If you haven't subscribed, subscribe to the channel and come on and hang out with us, okay? God bless you, everybody. Bye-bye.